Welcome back, folks. This is lesson 46, and today what I want to do with you is a place where I used to live before I moved to Cromer. It's a place called Felthorpe, still in Norfolk, of course, only about 20 miles south of here. And the view we've got is Church Farm. And Church Farm was quite close to my home down there. And I used to walk down this lane on the left here, and past the farm, and across it behind that is the old church we have. That's about 12th century. It's a really old one. It's a beautiful little church. And of course it's still in use today, and everything's fine. And that's the farm, which is called Church Farm, which is quite close to the church. In fact, its fame is Anna Sewell wrote Black Beauty while living here, so that's quite interesting, isn't it? Right, let's the chat. Let's get talking about business, about painting. Right, I've put you a sketch up to start with, and here are the colours we've got: the raw sienna or ochre, ultramarine and burnt umber plus, and then a weak mix of alizarin crimson. So usual colours. We don't need a lot, do we? So we can just dispense with that now, and we get painting. We'll do it a nice day, shall we? And bit of sunshine on this one. Well, this is clean water. I'm just damping down certain areas of the sky randomly. Then I'm going to put some sunshine on there. That's the sienna or the ochre, whichever one you've got. Of course, this colour will be down on the path as well, down here. Right. I'll have a brush now and put some blue in there. Get a bit of blue sky, shall we? It's nice to have a nice day. Just drop it in. Some on the dry part of the paper, and some on the wet part, and some will spread, some will just stay where it is. Just form our clouds by sort of negative shapes, if you like. That'll give us some cloud formation. Wash the brush and just put a bit of bad sky in, if you like. Just twiddle around the darkness of that randomly again. I say don't plan it. It's all better if you don't plan it. It'll work better for you. And as we move down to the horizon, I want to introduce a little bit of alizarin crimson into there. Let's pop it into here, behind the church, or the church farm, I should say. Pop that into there. Flicking across the bottom of the sky there. Just when you think about it, the sky is 3/4 of your picture, isn't it? So it's best to spend a bit of time on it. Well, the nights are drawing in now. We've put the clocks back last weekend, and they're talking about locking us down again. Well, not to worry, we'll get by, won't we? We'll paint our way out of trouble. That's what we'll do. and that will sort it out on the sky. I might put a bit more cloud in there at the top there. It's a bit miserable. Just a sort of bit more heavy cloud in there. Give it a bit more oomph. That's it. Let's whip some cloud down here. Close that top corner down there. It's better. Underside of the clouds. What are the light today coming from? I see. I think the right over here, this side. So the shadows on the clouds will be on the left, won't they? And underside. Right, I'm starting to fiddle now, so stop. Wash the brush out. And before I go any further, let's have a look what we've got. Yeah, we've got the sky there, the church farms view. While it's damp there, I'm going to let it damp off a bit at the bottom. And I want to introduce some distant trees in there, using some of the colours we've got from the sky. Let's use a smaller brush for this. Small brush there, that's a number 6 it is, that. Just nice and small, just as long as it does its job. And we're going to pop in some distant trees. In fact, they're so distant that they're a bit, how can I say, they're not green. A bit distant on this, a bit more colour into that. That's better. A bit more strength of colour. This is background stuff. And some on this side of the road as well. Perhaps a touch down here on this side. I think I can dry that now because I want it to sort of dry off. Then I can put some greens on top of it. So let's get the old hair dryer and sort that out. Right, it's about dry now. Let's mix a sort of green that's not too in your face. It's a green that's sort of mid-tone, so it's going to drop back into the distance. But it's going to be in front of that, but not really strong. So we'll start off with some cadmium yellow there. And a touch of that, what we've just used there. Just to give us some trees in the distance, if you like. But not in the distance as the others. So we'll put some of this stuff in here like this. Just take that colour out there a bit there. this side here. And then some on the other side of the road here. I say don't put robins in or anything like that. It's just a sort of suggestion of trees there, and that's how going down the road there. So keep out of that. Right. What we can do now is sort of strengthen this same colour, but strengthen it and make it more in your face, if you like, a bit stronger. So our greens are richer. So it's the same two colours but less water. And always test it on a piece of paper first. Make sure you use the colour you want before you commit yourself. Right, just test on that. See that? Yeah, it's about the colour I want. Let's drop some of this in here. Now you see that by doing that colour, you'll see that those colours are sort of going into the background then. These are more local colours. Nice and tight up to that building there. Down to the sheds. These are all sheds, you know, the usual types of sheds where you get farms. They keep all sorts of things, don't they? All the machine tractors and add-ons to pull around the farm, around the fields and that. A bit round here, nice biggish one here. Of course, it's nice to think about where the light is coming from when you're doing these things as well. And we want to sort of create a darker green in the shadowy area, don't we? So the light's coming from the right on this. So on the underside of this we'll get some darker greens, won't we? It's still wet, so it'll blend in quite nicely. These will be dark at the bottom, well, give them shape. Right down to the farmyard. And we'll have one or two at this side as well. Greens here. That'll do fine. That a bit darken it down where the shadow areas are. Don't forget it's coming from the right. So we're going to get the shadows on the underside, aren't we? And to the left. Under there, that's fine. Let's give it shape, that won't it? I think that'll about do now. There. That's it. Clean my brush out. And what I'd like to do now is put some suggestions of tree trunks in, because these trees are going to have trunks, aren't they? So let's have a look, see if we get a trunk brush. This one will do. Little brush here. That's a hairbrush. Quite nice. So I want a bit of a dark now. That's a dark brown. It's not, trunks are not always brown. I mean they're greeny brown. So we'll put a bit of burnt umber into that and darken the trunk. Right. I'm just showing it through there because it's coming up. But it's growing from the base look. Just as it grows, take it up the top there. I see that's giving the leaves something to hang on to, isn't it? There's a bit of a trunk here. That's not truncated, that one. We'll put some trunks in. This one here, it's coming down here. Another one down here. Series of trunks on this, the smaller ones, but bunched together. That'll do, I don't want to do too much there. Right, we're getting rid of our background now, aren't we? So we can start moving forward. I want to dry that a little bit first before we move forward. And I think we'll tackle probably some of these barns. Oh, I don't know, get this foreground done first. Let's get rid of some of the white. I want to sort of, now what you might not see is in the foreground there is, just here, it's been raining, and we're going to get a suggestion of rain in these puddles here. There's two puddles just here, which are getting reflected from the sky. So I'll put these in now. Sort of this indentations in the field, and the rain settled in there. There's a small piece here as well. So that's on the field in front of the farm and all that. Right, I'll tackle the edges and all that later. I'll sort that out. That's got that in. I think I ought to dry it a little bit now. I'm going to put some this grass in first. It's get rid of the white. It always bugs me a lot of white like that. It looks like it's going to snow or something. So I'll mix a green here, which would be suitable for the grass. Using the same colours I use for the trees, but sort of slightly different balance on it. Use a test paper. Make sure you got the colour that you want. Yes, that's the colour I want. Nice and pale, see. Right, are we ready? So there's a field across here like this. Just in front of the house. And it comes onto this front field here. And there's hedges and stuff like that, which I'll deal with later. I'm just getting this undercoat on light for now. There's mud around the edge of that pond, so that grass and the soil of it. Grass down here. There, let's darken that grass a bit at the front there as it comes towards us. A darker colour here and some dark bits in that bit there. That'll bring this bit in front of that bit there, so we bring it towards us. It's a two-dimensional piece of paper, but we're trying to make it look three-dimensional. And we can do it with value of colour. That's how we'll do it. It's the way you tell them. Some twiddly bits on this field just about here. To separate the two fields. Just a bit of twiddle. I think I'll put a bit of this green on this bank at the side here as well. Let's darken that side a bit, shall we? Darker it's coming towards us here. Darker down here. Flick a touch in there. Right. I think I'll put that path in as well. That path is ochre or raw sienna, whichever one you're using. I'll pop that in here. That goes in the distance round behind the church. Of course, tone, it's the same flatness there as it's there, so we've got to make it so that this is nearer to us. And I'm going to add some burnt umber into that now, which we use in the sky. Mix a touch of burnt umber in there, and bring this towards us here. Keep away from that bit there because that's taking us in the distance. Then we'll darken that a little bit more. Down this foreground. That's coming towards us. Right, we're getting rid of some of the whites now, so we know where we're going. So we're dry now, press on a bit. Let's see where we're going next. I think I'll just put this, there's a bit of a hedged road just in here. We'll pop that in first, and that's getting rid of more white, isn't it? Then we can see where we're going with the buildings. I'll just use this brush here and pop some hedge colour in. That's cadmium yellow, and I've done some Windsor blue into that. Makes a bit of a colour on that which I like. Yeah, that'll do on here. That's a bit of a hedge. That's slowly going to the distance there. That's keeping the sheep out the churchyard. Sometimes they let them in, see if it let the cut the grass. A beautiful church. They have weddings there and all sorts. It's really nice. I think it's just celebrated recently its 800th or 900th birthday. Just put some darks in the bottom of the hedgerow there. It's always darker in the bottom, isn't it? One thing about having to isolate, you can fill your time in really enjoying yourself. And if you haven't painted before, welcome to a nice hobby. You can spend hours and hours and hours just enjoying yourself. It doesn't matter if it works or it's perfect, just as long as you enjoy yourself. That's the main thing. That's what it's all about. I get people rushing about and meeting and causing some problems with this COVID thing. We'll just enjoy ourselves. It's dark in the bottom, don't forget. On the underside. Keep away from that in there because it goes into the distance. Right, that's there'll be the edge of the grass and stuff like that down here. We'll sort that out in a minute. Right, let's just see if we can tackle this church farm now, shall we? Lovely farm, lovely church. In fact, the people are lovely that live there. And you know them well, they're lovely people. Right, so we're going to have a pan-tile roof here, and one on the extension here, and then these farm buildings in the distance, well not in the distance, in the farmyard there, and see how we go. So the building, the farm itself is white, this will be white, these are just pan-tile roofs, so we'll do a pan-tile colour, get my mouth around it, and a good colour for that is burnt sienna, or light red, whichever you prefer. But they're both two nice colours. It works on these pan-tile roofs. So let's start on the church and work my way across. So I'm right-handed, so I shan't be smudging it then, will I? So let's just pop this in. Of course, we've got chimneys, haven't we? A bit careful with them. And then one onto this one here, just down the edge of that roof on the other side. You'll see the pan-tile edge, won't you? So don't forget the edge there, which comes down. I've got the lean-to, or not lean-to, it's an extension actually. Just here. around the edge there. I think what we can do is also put some of these. Let's put some of these buildings in the farm buildings, shall we? We just drop some stuff in on this, and let's give them a base colour for a start. Just a light wash of this. This is the undercoat. Quite a few buildings. No idea what they have in them, I was going to say, apart from machinery, but seems to be a lot of machinery there. Right, we've got that flattened out now, and what we can do is put some. I'll do a bit more on this building here. Put one or two tiny windows in there. Not having a building without windows, is it? So I'll drop some windows in there. Make a dark colour. That's the French ultramarine there. The burnt umber to give me a nice darky colour, and pop in some of these little windows. Well, they're not little, but from where we are, they're little. Just darkening the shadow side of this chimney and that. I think while I'm at it, I'll just darken down these some of these pantiles. That's it. Give a bit of some darks under there. Right, so look at these bars. That should be dry. Well, should be dry. No, it's still a bit wet. Right, let's put some shape to these outhouses or buildings. Right, I can darken this roof on this. I'll start with a little one at the end. Bring it forward. We'll increase the value of that roof on it. So I've got the same version of this, but a bit darker. That'll do. The next one to it will have similar. A bit warmer as they come forward. That's the front end of that one. I want this top one here. They're a bit rustic, these, you know, they're not too linear straight and stuff like that. They're outbuildings. Been there for years. But they still do their job. So they're valuable. Some down that side there. I lean to on this one. And then this nearest one too, that wants to be similar strength. I say they're old, these buildings, so let's put a bit of age on them. They're not B&Q. Right, I think we'll put some apertures in them, holes or doorways, just to keep them going. Just with that French ultramarine there, which is a nice colour. Perhaps a touch of that alizarin we've been using, that might be nice. Give the depth a little bit of interest. So that's just it's an open door. So we don't know what's inside it. But I'll leave it like that. There's something there, but we don't know what. There's a couple of windows up the top of this one. I think, of course, it's got to have a door as well, hasn't it? So it'll have another kind of door here. There are some windows in these things here. It's a suggestion. A door here. Just what you'd see in some of these old farm buildings. Right, and I think we'll have some nicer farmyard bushes in here. So part of the garden, so we'll lighten the colour a bit there. Got some cadmium yellow. That should be nice in there. A nice bright green in the garden. And cadmium yellow, of course, it's opaque, so it will cover some whatever I'm asking it to cover. So we'll put this stuff in the farmyard here. quite a bright looking green, see. They could be sort of trees that they've planted that's nice to have in the back garden. Quite a bright green. That's using a lot of cadmium yellow on this one. But at the base of it, where the light doesn't get to, we start to darken it as well. So we need to put some dark in there. Let's get a bit of dark there. Clean my brush before I dip in some paint. And get a bit of dark. I'll get some dark Winsor blue into that. That should give me a dark on the underside there. Like this. There, that's it, see? That gives it some shape. A nice dark there. Against the white of the building, we'll set that up as well. There. So that's the few stuff in the farmyard there. And some of these trees around the house are quite nice trees as well. These will be a nice yellowy green as well. So let's pop some of them in, shall we? Using similar colour, that cadmium yellow, very prominent. And let's pop some in just about here. Nice and fresh green. A lot of greens in this picture. I don't know if you've noticed, but I haven't used much greens in some of the other paintings. But there's a few in this one. Right, let's put some dark in on that, on the base of that. So that darkness, what it's done, it's added a sort of brightness to that, the whiteness of the actual farmhouse. It sings out a bit. And on this piece here, I think we should put some windows in there as well, shouldn't we? Although we'll complain to the builder. I don't know. We can't have that. Some windows in. Cost a fortune on this extension, so might as well as money's worth. One here. That's all right. Let's have a look at this. See this. Put a little window at the top of this, which is nice. A bit of dark under that one. Dark under that. Dark in there. I think we've put up a sort of a doorway or something in the side here as well. Don't forget I'm painting this from memory. I can't remember every brick and every nook. And I'm sure some of my ex-neighbours are saying, oh, he's got that wrong. But it's not about it. If I wanted it exactly right, I'd have taken a photograph, wouldn't I? So you paint what you want, folks. And if anybody criticises, say this is how I saw it. Don't let them knock you out. Right, so these little buildings are coming on nicely now. That's done, that's done, that's done. I can start moving forward now. Eventually there's going to be some light from the right. We'll put some shadows in on this lot. But I want to move forward a bit now. There's a few trees here. I want to put one or two trees in because well, it would look nice with a few trees, wouldn't it? See, I'll just get some burnt umber. And get a bigger brush than that. Do more damage. Some burnt umber, that's mix it in with that. Just test it, see what it's like. That's alright. Right, what I want to do, there's some trees here. I'll stick a tree in there like that. Use that little wispy one now. There's another tree in front of it here, further down the lane, but it's what I want to do is the other side of that. The light's from the right, don't forget. So I'm putting some darks on the left hand side of these trunks while they're still wet. Give a bit of shape to them. We've got another little tree just here. This is a small one. Right, I'll put some dark on them on the shadow side. Keep it right. Right, and there's one about here as well. Let's put that in. Let's have a good do with our trees. You're getting value for money on this one. We're not charging by the tree. What up on? What about here? That'd be nice. Let's darken the side of that, shall we? Keep it the same theme right through. Right. I'll dry those off a bit, and then we'll see about putting some leaves on them. We need some leaves, don't we? In fact, there's a little. I'll put some little twigs in them later, but I'll put some leaves on, shall we? Right. See what we've got. I don't want a piddling little brush for this. I want some substance. Don't think I've mixed enough there. I'll mix some more first. There's quite a bit of green. That's the cadmium yellow again, and I'm using the Windsor Blue red shade. Let's see what we've got. I've got a decent sized brush now, so I can introduce some colour onto these, can't I? Just use the side of your brush. Don't forget you paid for that as well, so you might as well use it. I don't want to fill it in too much. I don't want it to cover the church, the church farm. So we'll just miss that. Just concentrate the. Don't forget this. It's going to be dark in the shadow side, isn't it? Leave the little flicks out. That's nice, that, because they don't all look uniformed. Right, we've one just here as well, so we'll pop that one in while we're at it. Nice bright, and put some cadmium yellow into there just to brighten some of them areas up, because the sun's catching it. See, we don't want it all dark and miserable. Right, pull that brush down a bit. You have it too long, you start fiddling. That's the last thing we want to do, fiddle. One or two suggestions of what we've got. Put some of this branches up here like that. I'm continuing the branches up so you can hold those leaves that we painted at the top. Like these here, see, if we go up there, go up there and hold them branches up. Take this one up and get that one. Up to that one there. and they're all doing the job now. Right, so we've got the tree formation here. We want something on this little bump. There's a bump between the two fields, so I need to represent that. Let's see, we'll put some perhaps nice green in here just to represent the hillock. That's just separating the two fields. Keep this going. A few twigs around these as well. You always get rubbish around the bottom of the trees, don't you? Well, it's not rubbish, it's what it's a bit of greenery anyway. Some rogue grasses coming out of this. Little branch I forgot. Not to worry. Put a bit of a twig on it. How's that? Let's get rid of it. Darks down here. A bigger brush than that. That's a miserable thing. I'm using this colour I used in the sky for this. It's just the ultramarine and the burnt umber, just to give me sort of a bit of a dark down here where these things are. Sort of anchors this front bit. But also I want to do the edge of this water here. It's got some mud around it. Usually with that tree trunk colour around here. In fact, I think that what we'd also get in that, we get some reflection to these tree trunks, won't we? So we're going to put them in this water. Darker than that. To darken some of these. They always get mud at the edge of these paths and that. Where the grass runs down and touches the path itself. So we're just anchoring that down a bit. That's what that'll sort that out. And I want some more splashes of green down here. Right, I'll do some sort of suggestion of darks. This sort of stuff here. Down to this where it touches the water. Smaller brush, and try one or two little bits of these in this corner here. And right in this corner here, what I want to try and do is darken this foreground here. I think we'll do a couple of figures walking down this lane. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? A couple of little figures walking down there, enjoying themselves on this lovely day. This is Fred and Mabel, or it could be me and Carol, walking down this road. I'll put my red jumper on. That draws the eye to it, doesn't it? Right, let's get my jumper on. Walking down the lane, smart jumper. Pair of dark trousers. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? As we walk down the lane, I better put Mabel in. Oh, she likes a yellow jumper. Stands out. We'll put Mavis in here. Or Carol, whichever you like to call it. Dark trousers again, matching pair. It's dark on that side because the light's from the right, isn't it? Keep it in cut and reading what we're doing. Got to put a head on her, don't we? We need that. Oh, she's a redhead, like Carol. So I'll put her some red hair on. And leaning towards me. How's that? Just hanging on my every word. I wish. Anyway, That's they're going down there. Now the last thing we need is some shadows, isn't we? We need shadows, or it's flat and boring. So let's mix some shadow colour. And the colour I want to mix is the French ultramarine with some burnt umber. So I don't know how that shadow's colour's looking. That's not bad, yeah. Right, now we start, let's see, I better start to the right and work my way across left. So the light's coming, don't forget what we said, it's coming from, where, isn't it? Here. Yeah, it's coming from here. So, I think, Mabel's hair running a bit there. So we're going to get shadows from coming across here. So there'll be shadow from Fred and Mabel, won't they? Across here like this. They walk down the road. There'll be tree shadows, won't they? They come across here like that, see? And a little one there. Of course, it'll spread up this area where the trees, the leaves on the trees will cause a shadow, won't they? So let's put a dapple shadow on the road there. Right, working across, there's going to be a shadow down here. There's shadows under these shrubs and shrubby bits here. And of course on the farmhouse, this face of the farmhouse, this front face here, will be in shade, won't it? So we better put it in shade. And the front face of this will be in shade as well. So we better put that in. And there'll be a shadow on the pan tiles down there. The chimney will be in shade on the left hand side there. On that one. Probably cast a shadow on the roof there. Probably not that one. So this will be in shade. There's this hangover of the pan tiles here. Get onto some of our buildings. Yeah, this will be in shadow here. And this one. This one. This one. This little lean-to will be in shade just there. And it'll also cast a shadow on this building here, won't it, like that? There'll be a shadow under the pan tile there. This one will be in shade here. bit overhang there, so that'll be in shadow down there like that. That one be in shadow just there like that, and that one like that. So it's getting to a point where I'm looking for things to do, and that's another good idea. Just want to put more shading down here like that. So. Come down here. I think it might be I might get a cloud shadow across here like this, look. Because it has a soft edge there, so don't give it a hard edge, because it's a cloud, and clouds don't go hard-edged. Look in the sky, see if you've got any dodgy bits. Well, there'll be a bird in it. I think there's a little one there. Yeah, we'll put a bird in there, just a little bird, because it's only a little blob. Let's try and put a bird in there. Don't want to rest on this, it's wet. Right, I think that's enough now. I'm looking for things to do. Mind you, I'm looking at that, I think I'll just darken. Brush. I'll just darken that the shadow areas on some of these branches here. They're not dark enough for me. Cast a shadow there. I'm just improving the dark on these trees before I put the brush down. It's getting to the stage where somebody should take the brush off me actually, because I'm fiddling. And I don't want to fiddle, because it don't do your paintings any good at all. Right. Well, that's it for today, folks. Thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed it, give us a like or subscribe or unsubscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. So until next time, goodbye for me. Goodbye, folks.